Lastly, at the beginning of our conversation, Chief Secretary, I mentioned the theatre and arts industry. Money has been made available through various grants there. One recipient is a drag act called Gateau Chocolat. You've probably not heard of that act. They've got, or he has been given £215,000. Meanwhile, the 30 performers of Zippo's Circus get £600,000. Why does one act qualify for almost £250,000?
Well, as I'm sure you'll appreciate, Nick, we've allocated the money from the Treasury. The Arts Council has been administering that. I'm sure they'll be happy to come on and explain how they've done so. I think the key issue for us within the Treasury was to recognise, firstly, that the arts is a key part of our cultural landscape, but also our economic landscape.
Respectfully,
and that's
Mr.
why
Barclay,
we put the 1.57 billion in.
That is not an answer. OK, let's be candid with each other. We're both grown men. I've asked you why one act. I don't expect you to know of this act, Le Gateau Chocolat, last profits to submit to Companies House. The last turnover was £107,000 for the year ending 2018. He's in receipt of £215,000. There are many theatres who have had not a penny. There are comedy clubs that are closing, and the Zippo Circus, with 30 employees, gets £600,000. So let's not talk about all the money that's been made available. Let's just answer who is in charge of giving that amount of money to one act. Chief Secretary.
Well, so who's in charge of the allocation? The Arts Council England allocates the scheme.
And presumably you and your colleagues monitor it, do you? And you're completely happy that one fellow walks away with nearly £250,000?
Well, you started the premise, Nick, by saying let's be grown up. I have not been through individually every scheme as a Treasury Minister. What we have done is allocated £1.57 billion.
How do you react to that? When presented with that case study, your Chief Secretary of the Treasury, does it give you cause for concern?
Well, it sounds odd, and I would want to put the question to the Arts Council and to those administrating the scheme to better understand what has happened. But the point is, I have not been through every individual scheme. I don't think, Nick,
I don't expect you to. For a minute. But it speaks to, again, the fact that £2 billion has gone missing in one area. 215,000 goes to one person, where many theatres... I understand you're a musician yourself. Do you think you're doing enough for the art? You personally. Do you think the government's doing enough for the arts?
Well, I do.
You're playing a swing band, I understand, Chief Secretary. What instrument do you play, may I ask?
Many years ago, you play the piano.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
But it's not about that. I think
we might have hit the wrong note on this occasion with where the money's going, Mr. Barclay.
I'm sure as and when I do, you'll be quick to tell me. But the point is that we've allocated £1.57 billion. We recognise the huge importance, in particular to your listeners, of the arts, and both from a cultural point of view and an economic point of view. We've allocated that funding. It's absolutely right that you pick up and say, is there areas where awards have been made that we need to look at? But it is for those administrating those schemes to address those. But the wider point is that we recognise that the arts have been massively hit by the restrictions. That's why we put in place the package of support that we have. But it's this balance between getting money out to schemes, but also having the right level of controls.
Grateful for you.